Welcome to week two preview here of College Football Time with Avery Miguel. I am Miguel Mike Medina. This is my partner, Avery Jones. Avery, how are you? Are you ready for week two?
I'm good. Week one was chaotic, but college football is back. Week two looks to have some of the same effect with some of the games we have this coming weekend.
Yes, indeed. And the first one we're going to talk about is one of the best ones, starting at 12, Iowa versus Iowa State. And Iowa State, they're favored by like 3.5 in this game. So I picked this game to be close as well. This game will be on Fox at 12 p.m. Iowa, they ran for about 310 yards last week against Albany, and they have Iowa has won six straight against Iowa State. But Iowa State, I mean, they have a great head coach in Matt Campbell. Like him, one of the best coaches in the game. He's a three-time Big 12 Coach of the Year, so he's going to have those guys prepared. Rocco Beck, he's going to be the X factor for Iowa State. Last week, he was almost perfect. He went 19 of 20, 278 yards with three touchdowns against North Dakota. So he's going to have another big game, especially against Iowa. Iowa Hawkeyes, they are one of those teams that they can be a real pest. They can catch you off guard. And if you make a mistake, they'll make you pay. So, and we got to remember they do have a great defensive coordinator in Phil Parker. So he will have that defense ready against Iowa State. Take it from there.
Oh, you're absolutely right. The favorite is Iowa State at 65% versus 34.6% for Iowa. They are playing at home. Iowa started off the season in Dublin, beating Kansas State. It was a great game, even despite the weather. So look for Iowa State to come out strong. And I completely agree with you. Rocco Beck is kind of going to be the X factor for Iowa State. And the Cyclones really want to take it to Iowa. This is kind of one of those in-state rivalries that you would see literally at the end of a football season, usually in November. But this is one of those that usually starts at the beginning of the season. And these two teams really play some good games. So the over-under is 42. So I kind of look for this game to be kind of a mid-scoring game, but kind of break that over-under. But I agree with Iowa State being the favorite. They're playing at home. They're going to take that energy, they're going to use it to their advantage. So I'm going to go with Iowa State 24, Iowa 20.
Not too shabby. I have it in the 20s as well. I have Iowa State winning 26 to 23. Um, Iowa's defense, I'm going to keep an eye on them. I feel that they're going to have to play quality defense. And this is a team that they have a lot of experienced players. And I feel that in sports, experience is key, is very key. It doesn't always turn out to be that way in the outcome. Sometimes we have the youthy and experience beat the experience, but experience overall in sports is very vital, and Iowa has that advantage in my opinion. Kirk Ferentz, he has a chance to make history. If Iowa wins, he will pass Woody Hayes for most wins in Big Ten history. So
That
that's huge right there.
that is a big deal because the Big Ten is literally the conference right now in which you need to go through if you're looking for a national championship. So this is gonna be a great test for both schools, I believe. And this is also kind of one of those this because it's a 12 o'clock game, don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on this game. Iowa and Iowa State have played some very good games in the past couple years. So I think this is one of those games where the national attention works in both teams' favor. And I also agree with you. Maybe sometimes inexperience may not work, but sometimes that also that youthful enthusiasm works to their benefit as well.
And this is a classic matchup because this is their 72nd edition. So If people do not sleep on this game, Avery said it best. Now, moving on, Avery. Ole Miss versus Kentucky. This one, I love it so much. If there is anyone, Avery, anyone that really wants this game is Kane Lane Kiffin. He is still sour, bitter, and it still haunts him from that tough loss against Kentucky last year that really killed Ole Miss chances of making the playoffs. So I feel that nobody wants this game more bad enough than him coming into this game. So this game begins at 3:30 on ABC. For those of you who don't have ABC, you can also watch it on football. You can start with a free trial. Um, I just want to throw that out there. So, but yeah, Ole Miss is looking to get some revenge after what happened last year. But this is I could say a different Ole Miss team. There's they have a new roster. They have a new roster. For example, we have first year quarterback Austin Simmons, who took over Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart. Now he's a member of New York Giants. Let's go Giants. Dart, you better not let me down. I'm just kidding. Hopefully he does well, and I feel like he will do well. But Austin Simmons, he was solid last week. However, he did have two giveaways last week, and that's something he cannot do against this Kentucky team. You just can't. So the last four matchups in the series have been decided by 4 points or less. So this is another game that I'm excited to watch. I feel that it's going to be a tight one, and I'm gonna go with Ole Miss on this one, winning 31-27.
That's a very like liberal score from what we saw last year, but I completely agree with you. Lane Kiffin is probably out for blood. Austin Simmons, from Miami, Florida, and as much as I love college football and my team, I like to rep Florida players. But Austin
305.
Simmons, yes, but Austin Simmons, literally, he has got to be careful because even though Ole Miss, they're an overwhelming favorite at like 83.6% versus 16.4% for Kentucky. He cannot make those mistakes. But look for Kentucky's defense, especially their secondary, to try and get his wide receivers to overcommit. And that's when those mistakes can happen for Simmons. So Kentucky's quarterback, Zach Caldera, uh, he's starting off slow. He's starting off slow, but look for Kentucky to try and get those turnovers to help boost the offense. Also look for the offense to try and possibly uh, um, confuse the Ole Miss defense, but I completely agree with you. Lane Kiffin wants this game so badly because last year's game, I believe, was decided by 4 points, and it was kind of a low scoring game. I think it was like 20-16 that Kentucky won. But I want to go with Ole Miss on this one too. The over under is like 50. So even though that score seems a bit high, I still think that Ole Miss can take it, but I think they're still going to take it really close. So I'm going to go with Ole Miss 32 and Kentucky 28.
Fair enough, fair enough. Moving on, Avery. Number 15, Michigan versus number 18, Oklahoma. Another intriguing matchup. This game will be at 7:30 on ABC. Listen to this, Avery. This is their first meeting since the 1976 Orange Bowl. Unbelievable. So we're witnessing something interesting here. Oklahoma Sooners, I feel that their offense looks so much better compared to last season. They have transfer quarterback John Mateer. John Mateer, he will always ring in my head because for those of you who don't know, I'm a Miami Hurricane fan. And the Hurricanes, before Carson Beck, they wanted this guy. They wanted him in the transfer portal. So And John Mateer and Cam Ward, they have a connection because of Washington State. So everybody was expecting John Mateer to follow Cam Ward's footsteps and come to the U, but that didn't happen. But last week he was sensational. He threw for 392 yards against Illinois State and Oklahoma. Last year, they didn't throw for over 300 yards in a single game. So already so far, they're already doing that in week one. So therefore, I feel like their offense looks so much better. Bryce Underwood, off to a good start. First year with Michigan. He wasn't perfect, but he was solid, completing 21 of his 31 passes, 261 yards with a touchdown last week. However, he will be tested in week two because Oklahoma has a solid defense. So this is going to be a very big test for Bryce Underwood as he makes his first career role start. So Michigan's running game, however, they need to be better. They were impressive last week, so they will have to be better in this game against Oklahoma. And yeah, I'm gonna let you go take it from there.
Yeah,
See what you have to say.
this is a good matchup because both teams are ranked. You have Michigan at 15 and you have Oklahoma at 18. And this is also one of the closest matchups, I think, on Saturday. You have Oklahoma favored 53.5% versus Michigan at 46.5%. Bryce Underwood, a hometown hero from Detroit, Michigan, he wants to get the Big Blue on the board quickly. Michigan needs to take the fight to Oklahoma early. Oklahoma does have a tendency to let the game get out of control and then come back to win. What Oklahoma now needs to do, and I completely agree with you, John Mateer is like a diamond in the rough. Believe it or not, he's from an Oklahoma rival, if you will. He's actually from Norman, Texas. So this young man could have been playing for the Longhorns. So look for him to come out quick, look for him to score early. That will work to Oklahoma's benefit because if Oklahoma, and they are playing at home, which I think works for them as well. So look for Oklahoma. If they come out quick, then Michigan is just on the ropes and they're just going to try and play catch up. For this one, I'm going to go with Oklahoma. Oklahoma looks really good right now. It's early, so this is Oklahoma's best test to get them solidified in the playoff picture. Michigan, they need to do the same thing, but unless Bryce Underwood, unless he takes fully control of the game, I look for Oklahoma to utilize any mistakes he makes and capitalize on them. The over under is a bit low. This is you're talking about 44 points. So I'm gonna give the edge to Oklahoma on this, but I'm gonna give it like such an edge. I'm talking Oklahoma 24, Michigan 22.
Nice, nice. That's a big one. As for Oklahoma Sooners, this young man, he's a very vital part for their offense. We don't know if he'll suit up against Michigan. If he does, it'll be interesting. But going forward, I think he'll be very important for the offense, and that is Jaden Ott. He transferred from Cal, and he was ranked number 3 running back in the transfer portal. So the status of him to play against Michigan, so far, I don't know. We don't know yet. But he, is someone that will be very important for that Sooners offense. So, I mean, this is a big game. We're talking about Big Ten versus SEC, something that we haven't seen since 1976. So, ooh, I'm gonna go with Oklahoma on this one. I'm gonna go with Oklahoma, and I feel that it will be a high scoring game between both teams. So I'll have it Oklahoma winning 37-30.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go
You're
with that one.
you're looking for a shootout in Oklahoma, so I that could work to Oklahoma's benefit, but we shall see. We shall see Saturday night.
Yeah, we can be afraid to be wrong sometimes.
No,
So
of course, of course.
we can be perfect like Lee Corso last week.
Oh, yeah, and that is probably the best send off you could probably ask for. for him. So absolutely, absolutely.
Last but not least, Kansas versus Missouri. This is a rivalry game, and they'll be playing for the first time since 2011. Missouri's quarterback, Bill Prebola, he played great last week against Central Arkansas. I feel that Missouri has the potential to be a 10-win team this year if they can take advantage of winning some of these key matchups, some of these key games, and it all begins against Kansas on Saturday. So this is a very big deal for Missouri, for Kansas as well, but I feel like it's more for Missouri. If they want to have a promising season, if they want to get out to a good track, I feel that a win against Kansas City will be a huge confidence booster for this program. So I feel that this game will be close. I have Missouri winning by at least 2 points by the final score of 28 to 20. No, no, no. I'll say 35 to 32.
Hmm. That's a high scoring game. You're looking at an over under of about 65. But I agree with you. Missouri in the past few years has had the opportunity to upset some very good schools. The most notable one is Georgia a couple of years ago. Like they had Georgia on the ropes and they let them come back. But I completely agree with you. Missouri is the school that could just wreck some teams by either the team not taking Missouri seriously or Missouri just surprising a team, especially when they're coming at home. I like anything when it comes to college football, when teams play at home, I think that works to their benefit. And we even saw that last week. We saw that with Miami winning at home. We saw that with Florida State winning at home. Home games are key and vital in college football. So you have Missouri being a favorite, just a nice edge favorite, 64.1% versus the Kansas Jayhawks at like 35.6%. You have Missouri favored by 6. So you're talking about at least a touchdown, which I think could be the main component between Missouri and Kansas. I think Kansas is going to want to start off real fast. This is kind of one of those, it's not really an in-state rivalry, but the teams are so close that they have that in-state rivalry vibe, like Kansas and Kansas State, you know, so the teams being so close, they have that rivalry that can help both teams, make their mark. If Kansas wins this game on the road, I think their season propels them toward at least being ranked and a good foothold in their conference. Missouri, same thing. Games now have literally a factor in how you play and get a foothold, whether it be conference play or potential playoff. So Missouri needs to come out quick. They need to come out fast. And I kind of agree with you. I think this could be a high scoring game as well. Um, I'm going to go with a slight edge over Missouri. I am going to give them that touchdown favorite. So, but I'm going to give Missouri 32 and Kansas 25. But I think this could be a back and forth game early on, and then it could kind of get out of control in the second half. But I think look for Missouri's running game to be kind of the key to throw off Kansas's defense because their running game is kind of a misnomer right now. They have hits and misses. So look for Missouri's running game to kind of be the X factor toward the end of the game to make those big runs, get those first downs when needed, and hopefully propel Missouri to a win.
Well, guys, that does it for our previews and predictions of week 2 here on College Football Time with Avery and Miguel. I hope you guys enjoy all these games. There's a lot more games, obviously, for week 2, but we decided to go. These are some of the key matchups that we we are looking forward to seeing. So the important thing is that football season is here. We love doing this. We love sharing with you guys and providing you guys with great content. And we're going to continue doing this for as long as we can, for as long as God wants us to do it. This is year 4. And every year we try to raise it up to another level. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys enjoy this content, please hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And like I always say at the end of each video for the MMM Journal and all my videos on many platforms, be safe and may God bless each and every one of you. Avery, enjoy your weekend. And look, oh yes, everyone stay tuned for Monday or Tuesday as we give you guys our reaction, our thoughts on what we witnessed for week 2 of college football.
College football is back, baby. Yeah.